The Crescent shadow, when faith becomes force. The quiet conquest of Sharia in the West. Brothers and sisters in Christ, patriots of the free world, guardians of liberty's fragile flame, today I stand before you, not as a fearmonger, but as a watchman on the wall. My voice hoarse from shouting into the gale. We live in an age where the line between tolerance and tyranny blurs like ink and rain, where the noble pursuit of diversity becomes a Trojan horse for domination. There is a creeping tide in France and New York. Shadows of Sharia law lengthening under secular soil. But let us not whisper in corners. Let us roar from the rooftops. For if we do not name the beast, it will devour us in the dark. It's a tale as old as empires falling. The slow seep of ideology that promises peace but delivers chains. In France, the cradle of liberty, equality, fraternity, we see the first tremors. Riots in the banlieues, no-go zones where police tread lightly, and now, in 2025, reports of Sharia patrols. In Lyon and Grenoble, vigilantes enforcing veils on women, silencing music in cafes, all under the banner of piety. Local authorities, cowed by accusations of Islamophobia, look the other way. And in New York, the city that never sleeps on freedom's watch, the election of Zohran Mamdani as mayor-elect sparks fervid whispers. A Muslim paradise where jihadists hold sway. Sharia is governing principle. Conspiracy or caution? The headlines scream it, the streets murmur it, but these are not isolated storms. They are waves in a gathering sea. Today I give you two more harbingers, two cities where the crescent rises and the cross of liberty fades. Let their story steal your resolve, for the why is etched in blood and broken oaths. Sharia is not a faith in the hands of enforcers. It is a fist wrapped in silk. First, let us journey to Hamburg, Germany, the Hanseatic heart of Europe's commerce, where the Elbe whispers secrets of trade and tolerance. Here in April 2024, the unthinkable unfolded. A rally in the St. George district, organized by Muslim Interactive, a group flagged as extremist by Germany's intelligence service. Over 100 gathered, chanting for Caliphate, demanding Sharia law supplant the basic law. They were demanding that Sharia law supplant the basic law, the constitution that birthed post-war democracy. Germany for Islam, they cried, under banners decrying Islamophobic policies. No pitchforks, no pitch, just a quiet procession. Veiled women and bearded men slipping through the fog like ghosts reclaiming a haunted house. How did they come to power? Not with swords, but with votes and voices. Muslim Interactive, born from the shadows of the Muslim Brotherhood's European tendrils, started as community organizers, food drives in migrant enclaves, youth programs in mosques, whispers of solidarity against the far right. By 2023, they had infiltrated local councils, allying with Greens, who saw them as allies against xenophobia. Hamburg's diverse ports, swollen with refugees from Syria and Afghanistan, became fertile ground. Petitions for cultural sensitivity classes, public schools, prayer rooms at city halls, and modesty patrols, shaming unveiled women with flyers and stares. By 2025, Hamburg Senate, pressured by coalition details, funded interfaith dialogues that sideline Christian voices, prioritized iftar over Easter, and pride parades rerouted to avoid offense, gender-segregated swimming hours at public pools, all cloaked as inclusion. The results? A fracture in the soul of the city. Crime spiked in no-go pockets. Honor-based violence up 40% per leaked police reports. Women of all faiths whisper of harassment. Veils becoming chains rather than choices. Economic drain. Businesses flee parallel societies. Tourism dips as families shun the Caliphate Quarter. And the protests? Oh, they roared. In May 2024, 5,000 marched. Christians, Jews, and secularists clashing with counter-demonstrators hurling racist cries. Bavarian leader Alexander Dobrindt thundered for citizenship revocations. Prison for Caliphate extremists, but the courts dithered, fearing hate speech charges. Hamburg's mayor, a green SPD hybrid, called it dialogue, not danger. The rally swelled, but so did the shadows. By November 2025, Sharia weddings outnumbered civil ones in migrant-heavy districts. Why should they not rule our cities? Because Sharia, in its enforced form, is the antithesis of enlightenment, a theocracy devouring democracy, where faith means submission, not search. Hamburg's fall warns, when tolerance tolerates tyranny, the free become footnotes in their own history. God's people deserve protection, not subjugation under a foreign yoke. We honor covenant with compassion, not compromise with coercion. Let Hamburg be our siren. Heed it, or harmonize with chains. Now turn your gaze to Dearborn, Michigan, America's beating heart of Arab American pride, a suburb of Detroit where the call to prayer mingles with factory horns. Here the rise was insidious, a velvet glove over an iron fist. In the 2010s, waves of Iraqi and Yemeni refugees swelled the population to 30% Muslim. By 2024, Abdul El-Sayed, a progressive darling with brotherhood ties, ascended as mayor, campaigning on equity for all faiths. How? Voter blocs mobilized through mosques, alliances with DSA leftists who mistook Sharia for social justice. Petitions for cultural councils snowballed into advisory boards with veto power on zoning mosques mushroomed. Halal mandates crept into schools. Policies, a creeping code. By 2025, Sharia-compliant banking in city contracts, gender-segregated town halls during Ramadan, and modesty guidelines for public pools, enforced by community liaisons, not cops. Honor killings hushed as domestic disputes. Apostasy whispers met with fatwas from imams on payroll. Pride flags torn down as blasphemy, replaced by crescent moons on civic banners. The seduction of prestige. El-Sayed's Unity Festival drew crowds, but beneath, inspectors silenced. Data lost in server glitches. Results? Division's bitter fruit. Crime in sensitive zones. Doubled women assaulted for immodesty. Crimes in sensitive zones doubled. Women were assaulted for immodesty. The gay youth were fleeing. Economy stagnated as non-Muslim businesses boycotted. Tourism tanked amid no-go rumors. Protests erupted in 2025. 2,000 marched with Geller's AFDI, clashing with pro-Sharia crowds hurling bottles, chanting Allah Akbar. Police in riot gear made 50 arrests, and national headlines screamed Dearborn's Caliphate. Governor Whitmer decried Islamophobia, but whispers of FBI probes into funding from Qatar grew louder. The city fractured, families divided, and faith was weaponized. Why not in our cities? Dearborn screams to peril. Sharia's justice is selective, sparing the faithful while strangling the free. It's not diversity, it's dominion, eroding the Enlightenment's gift of equality, speech, and secular soul. We cherish God's people but reject rulers who bend liberty to belief. Cities are crucibles of pluralism, not prisons of piety. Let Dearborn's divide be our dawn. Rise against the rush, for when faith forsakes the freedom, the faithful become foes. Francis patrols New York's tremors and Hamburg's Calafante chants. Dearborn's divided streets. These are not anomalies, they are alarms. The seduction of progress masks the march of mandates, where inclusion invites imposition. We stand at the precipice. Will we build bridges of brotherhood or bow to the bulldozers of belief? Honor the covenant, love the people, not the power. Demand accountability, not allegiance to shadows. For in the clash of crescents and crosses, let truth be our torch. Liberty endures when we enforce it, not excuse it. Rise, reclaim, resist. God blesses the free, and may freedom bless the world. The bridge of our future stands not on haste, but on heart. Build it true, or watch it fall. Think about this and pray about this, guys. Have a good day.